I thought the Mets were a near lock to win the NL East this year. I don't think that anymore. Welcome back to the #1 Mets Guy podcast on Earth. Kalshi, Vegas Insider, and Sir Mix-a-Lot, as of March 10, all have the Mets as the probable winner of the National League East. Fangraphs has the Mets, Braves, and Phillies virtually tied in their 2026 projections. According to the projection models, it's going to be close. So let's take another look at the division. Let's start at the bottom. Both the Miami Marlins and the Washington Nationals are looking at bottom-of-the-league win projections. I actually like the Marlins. There are a few standout players. Stowers, Junk, Cabrera, Alcantara. Did I mention Stowers already? Young and hungry is good. Young, hungry, and talented is better. With Miami, 2 out of 3 isn't bad. Then we come to the Nationals. Their rebuild has been going for half a decade, and they still don't look close to finishing it. Washington has spent the last couple seasons moving veterans with expiring contracts to bring in younger players. Rebuild 2. Got it. Now we get to the meat and potatoes. Who rules the NL East? If we go by history, not the Mets. The last time the Mets won the division was 2015. It's a miracle Mets fans get out of bed in the morning. Anyway, things are looking good this year. Or at least, better. Let's start with the Atlanta Braves. The Braves rotation is in a state of flux because of injuries and depth concerns. Chris Sale, now approximately 57 years old, is still the ace and still effective when available. Spencer Strider has had a far from ideal spring. The good news is he has walked only 1 hitter while striking out 6. The bad news is that this is a pitcher who hasn't really looked like himself since 2023. He could absolutely bounce back. Injuries play a role. His fastball is down a tick, and while we don't want to overreact to a couple spring outings, the Braves rotation really needs him. Because Spencer Schwellenbach and Hurston Waldrep are on the IL following elbow surgeries, and Joey Wentz tore his ACL and will miss the season. So the rotation is significantly weakened due to injuries. The good news for Atlanta? The lineup should be fully healthy. If that's true, it's still one of the best offenses in baseball. Power, contact, defense. The bullpen is also strong, with Raisel Iglesias closing and Robert Suarez brought in to set up. If the Braves didn't have the rotation questions, I could absolutely see them winning the NL East. But with those injuries? No way. Now we come to the Philadelphia Phillies. The Phillies have won the division 2 years straight. Last year, they won 96 games, and the Mets finished only 13 games behind them. Oh yeah, I remember that pain. It's still fresh. Deal with it. Philadelphia brings back basically the same powerful lineup. Bryce Harper, Trea Turner, Kyle Schwarber, still there. The bullpen is strong with Joan Duran closing games. And the rotation has the potential to be the best in baseball. Christopher Sanchez, Jesus Luzardo, Aaron Nola, and of course, Zach Wheeler. Except this entire equation depends on Wheeler. He's recovering from thoracic outlet syndrome surgery. Reports say he feels strong and is throwing bullpen sessions. But he will miss opening day. Maybe a month. Maybe 2. Despite that injury and previous plans to retire after 2027, Wheeler has hinted he may reconsider that timeline. Good. Not just for Phillies fans. The more great players around the game, the better. Yes, I'm Mets guy, but I can still appreciate greatness. Zach Wheeler has been one of the best pitchers of his generation. And which team let him walk after he rejected the qualifying offer? Yeah, the Mets. Philadelphia didn't make a massive splash in the offseason. They're relying on internal improvement and prospect development, but they already won 96 games. Right now, I would pick the Phillies to finish ahead of the Braves. Which brings us to the Mets. No matter what projection model you look at, the New York Mets have a high probability of making the postseason. The team that disappointed in 2025 and made your mother cry has undergone a major makeover. The rotation is deep. The payroll is enormous. Freddie Peralta is a top 2-0 pitcher in baseball and entering a walk year. That's motivation. Nolan McLean looks like a future ace but is still unproven. David Peterson and Clay Holmes are solid. And the biggest question, can Kodai Senga stay healthy? So far this spring, he looks good. A rotation led by Peralta, McLean, and a healthy Senga sounds very nice. Sean Manaea adds depth. Jonah Tong could contribute. That's a lot of pitching depth, and this team will probably need it. The lineup may have lost some power, but might actually have a higher floor. Juan Soto. Francisco Lindor, assuming the hamate surgery recovery goes well. Bo Bichette. Jorge Polanco. That's a strong top of the order. Robert Jr. and Semien could both bounce back. Carson Benj is still fighting for a roster spot, so there is upside. But there is also risk. Many of these players have injury histories. Health could determine the season. The rotation looks improved. The depth should help survive injuries. But the bullpen? That might be the weak link of this team. I believe in Devin Williams. And you should too. His underlying numbers last year were still strong. Most of his problems came early in the season. But the rest of the bullpen is shaky. There are arms. But this is the bullpen we get. Williams, Weaver, Raley, Garcia, Brazoban. I originally thought the Mets were the clear favorite in the NL East. Not by a mile, but clearly. Now I'm not so sure. Maybe they raised the floor. But did they raise the ceiling? We're about to find out. Because the New York Mets stink. See you tomorrow.